mission as directed. And don't let there be any mistakes. Neutralize. Neutralize.
No! Just follow my orders. We won't fail.
Hell yeah, Sergio Martino. I love you. You made Hands of Steel in 1986 in America. Let's talk about it. It's got John Saxon in it, my favorite American actor. He plays Francis Turner, who has created a cyborg, 70% robot, 30% human. And his name is Paco Cornac, and he's Daniel Green from TV's Falcon Crest. He's been programmed to kill a scientist who plans to cure acid rain, which was a big problem in the 80s. A problem, much like Killer Bees, that has either gone away or the military-industrial complex that runs the world with oligarchs has stopped us from learning about. Remember when there were drones all over New York and suddenly we don't talk about it? How did this happen? Anyways, Francis Turner's solution runs afoul of the military-industrial complex we've talked about. So, Paco Cornac must die. Guess who is the one that programs him? Donald O'Brien, Dr. Butcher, MD himself. Anyway, Vendetta del Futuro. Paco has enough humanity inside and abandons the mission and sets out to discover more of his past in Arizona. There he finds love with Linda Janet Agron from City of the Living Dead and Eaten Alive. Literally in 20 seconds. Like, Paco Cornac is a player, right? He doesn't try to be, and that's probably why he's a great player. He's in town. People have been trying to get with Linda for years, and he just walks right in. He also gets into a feud with Paul Morales, a redneck trucker that doesn't take kindly to strangers. That redneck trucker who's a native of Arizona is George Eastman, who is not a native of Arizona. Paul's an arm wrestler, too. No coincidence, because Hands of Steel was going to come out at the same time as Over the Top, which was shooting 50 miles away. Martino probably thought, hey, if Sylvester Stallone, perhaps the biggest actor at the time that this movie was made in 1986, is making an arm wrestling movie, we could do arm wrestling too, but what if we put scorpions in it? Also, the military-industrial complex has sent a whole bunch of killers after our hero. They're bikers, mafia guys, and even a ripoff of Pris from Blade Runner. Holy cow, that Paco beats by ripping off her head. Then Paul comes back to try and kill Paco, but he crushes his head with his cyborg grip. Paco then takes a helicopter and stops Saxon, who has a giant gun. Before cops surround the building, kind of like Rambo First Blood, thinking Linda's dead, Paco goes crazy, but she survives and is able to talk him into surrendering. And then we are gifted with a closing image that says, "It was a day in our near future. The era of the cyborg had begun." This does not feel like the end of the movie. It feels like there's more to come. Anyway, Sergio Martino directed this. Is it as good as Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward, All the Colors of the Dark, or even 2019 After the Fall of New York? No. But you know what? I kind of love it. The movie poster art has been reused a million times. It's great movie poster art. There is a tragedy. Claudio Casanelli, who's in Murder Rock, Warriors of the Year 2072, a million other movies, was killed when the helicopter he was in crashed. The rotor blade struck the underside of the bridge and they broke off, sending the helicopter into a canyon where Casanelli and the pilot died. This was not Martino's fault. The National Transportation Safety Board reported there were prescription drugs in the pilot's hotel room that would have impaired his judgment. John Saxon was a stickler for Screen Actors Guild rules. He actually shot all of his scenes in Italy and refused to appear in any of the non-union American shot footage. He believes that the SAG saved his life, otherwise he would have been on that helicopter. Well, Claudio Simonetti did the score from Goblin, so that helps. And this is the kind of movie that doesn't really come out much anymore because we don't have video stores. A movie that found life in video shelves. A cyborg movie you could rent when Terminator was out of stock. The art that sells it, again, is awesome. If you saw it on the shelves, you would love it. It shows up in Alien Terminator, Cywarrior. Alien Terminator is Top Line, the Franco Nero movie. Cywarrior, two completely different movies. They're both about renegade cyborgs. You know, literally they just take the art of Paco Cornac, sometimes redrawing some of it, sometimes not. It shows up in many, many, many films. You know, the first time I watched this movie, again, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't like it. The more I think about Hands of Steel, the more I love it. I prefer Terminator ripoffs to Terminator movies. Top Line's a real good one. And it also UFO movie, also bat crazy. Terminator 2, obviously, shocking dark, is great. We need more of these movies. We need to bring back video stores so more people can make crappy movies that I can get into and love. Anyways, this is BNS About Movies. Thank you for listening to my journey into the world of Paco Cornac.